The other weekend, I was out on the water with the trolling motor and the prop decided to fall out. I don't know how. The nut must have loosened itself and the propeller fell in the water and was nowhere to be seen. Found the pin, interestingly enough, and it was all bent, but I ended up ordering a kit. Now, the only one I found was this Motorguide Katana. And they come with a kit. It comes with the propeller itself, the nut, and then 2 size pins. I've got a X3, I believe. They've got a bigger pin. I use a smaller pin on this one. And some of the issues people have noticed is that these things tend to rub a little bit. So if I were to install this, you'd feel a little bit of rubbing. You'd probably hear it when I install it. And I'm here to show you what I think is the easiest way to get that rubbing to stop. So what you want to do is get yourself some rubbing compound. 3M rubbing compound specifically. It's for automotive grade, and it basically helps you address scratches and swirls in paint. I'm just going to put some here so I can show you in the video, otherwise I wouldn't do this. And what you're going to do is you're going to spread this around the rim. Now, I've already done this once and I cleaned it up so I can show it to you in the video because it worked out fairly well. Spread it all around the rim here, because this is typically where you're going to see most of the rubbing happening. I guess the tolerances are not quite as good on these not aftermarket, but the replacement ones as they were on the factory one. So you're going to rub this all the way around. Just make sure that you got a good amount on it, on the lip there. And again, if you watch, you're seeing where there's a groove right above my fingernail right there. That's where mine was rubbing. Yours might be rubbing in a slightly different spot, but it shouldn't be severe, to where when you've got the nut tightened, it should only rub just a slight amount. So I'm going to install this here with that amount. Sorry, I'm trying to focus what I'm doing while also showing you what I'm doing. There it goes. Some of that spilled. I think I put a little bit too much on. You're going to tighten the nut, and you'll notice if I tighten the nut all the way, pretty tight, as tight as I can get with one hand, you can still move the prop, but there's some rubbing. So next, what you'll do, turn on the propeller. You're going to get sprayed with a little bit of this if you're not careful. I think I'm actually in reverse. Yes, I'm in reverse. So I'm going to go forward now. And you'll notice you heard a little bit of squeaking, and then that reduced, that subsided a bit. You hear a little bit of squeaking here and there, a little bit of rubbing, and the more you run it, the less rubbing there is. And what the rubbing compound does is it basically treats the housing as kind of like a sandpaper, and then the rubbing compound allows it to start digging into the groove on the propeller, which is plastic. And that way you don't have to sit there with a Dremel like some people have done. You can speed it up a little bit. And before I started, I was actually not able to at all run it on the lowest speed. This is off. That's the lowest speed. It actually runs at the lowest speed now. So again, if you guys want to get this thing done quickly, just get it to seat correctly. If you got rubbing, put some rubbing compound on there. Take the prop back off once you're done. Clean up whatever dried up rubbing compound there is, and this thing should run without any rubbing afterward.